Did you know millions of drivers destroy their cars with simple habits that feel completely normal? You don't even know you're making these mistakes. That quick move you do when rushing, it shortens your car's lifespan earlier than expected. In this video, I'll reveal 17 things you should never do to your automatic car. Watch till the end, because habit number 4 is a mistake every driver does, and if not prevented, it ruins your transmission in no time. Let's start with habit 17. Shifting from reverse to drive while moving. Picture this, you're backing out of a parking spot, traffic's coming, and you panic slam it into drive while the car's still rolling backward. When you shift from reverse to drive while moving, you're forcing the transmission to instantly stop backward momentum and flip to forward motion. This creates a violent clash between internal components that weren't designed for this kind of abuse. But here's what most drivers don't realize. Inside your transmission, clutches are slamming together like they're auditioning for a demolition derby. The heat generated is so intense it can literally melt clutch material, contaminating your transmission fluid with burnt debris. The hydraulic fluid gets contaminated with burnt clutch material, and do this enough times, your transmission will slip and fail completely. The damage ranges from $3,000 to $8,000 in repair costs. Always come to a complete stop before changing directions. Your transmission isn't a brake system, so stop treating it like one. But if you think that's expensive, wait until you hear about this fuel-related disaster. Habit 16, driving with low gas. Running your tank close to empty isn't just risky for getting stranded. It's toxic for your automatic transmission system. The fuel pump relies on gasoline for cooling and lubrication. And when you're below a quarter tank, that pump starts overheating like a laptop running 10 programs at once. Modern cars have an electric fuel pump inside the tank which pulls fuel and sends it to the engine. Even worse, when you're running low, the pump starts sucking up all the crud that settles at the bottom of your tank. Dirt, debris, and contamination that's been partying down there for months. This can clog your fuel filter, damage the injectors, and mess with engine performance by causing improper fuel delivery. This contamination affects how your engine delivers power, making your transmission work overtime to compensate for inconsistent power delivery. Keep your tank above quarter full to protect your car's important parts and avoid the hassle of being stuck with an empty tank. Your fuel pump, engine, and transmission will thank you with years of reliable service. Speaking of trust issues, here's a parking mistake that's costing people thousands. Habit 15, trusting park too much. Most drivers shift into park and walk away like they just locked up Fort Knox. Inside your transmission is a small metal component called the parking pole that locks into a notched gear to prevent wheels from turning. When you select park, this POW locks into place, physically preventing the wheels from turning. That's what keeps your car from rolling. But here's the brutal truth. When you let go of the brake after shifting into park, especially on an incline, you're dumping your entire vehicle's weight onto that tiny piece of metal. That loud clunk you feel, that's your car's weight body slamming the POW, slowly wearing it down over time. Over time, this pressure wears it down, and you may start to notice the shifter getting stuck in park. The proper sequence: come to a full stop, shift to neutral, engage the parking brake, feel the car settle, then shift to park. This transfers weight to the brake, not your transmission. Now here's where manufacturers try to sell you a lie. Habit 14, believing in lifetime transmission fluid. Manufacturers love telling you their fluid is lifetime and never needs changing. But here's the catch. This can be misleading because the fluid is designed for optimal driving conditions. The conditions you drive your car in are not always optimal. And here's what they don't tell you. Stop and go traffic, varying weather conditions, towing, and more all break down transmission fluid faster than expected. Once you hit a few 100,000 miles with old fluid, your transmission shows symptoms: delayed shifts, rough engagement, erratic behavior. By then, changing the fluid might cause more problems because worn clutches rely on that dirty fluid to maintain grip. The reality check: change your transmission fluid every 40,000 to 80,000 miles or every 3 to 5 years, regardless of what the manual claims. Seriously, who builds fluids that last forever anymore? But here's a habit that seems helpful but is actually creating problems. Habit 13, coasting in neutral. Many drivers think shifting into neutral while going downhill saves fuel. When you're in drive and coasting, most modern vehicles use deceleration fuel cutoff. the engine stops using fuel entirely while momentum keeps it moving. But here's the truth. Shift into neutral and the engine has to idle, which still burns fuel, so you may end up using more gas, not less. Even worse, you're messing with transmission lubrication and hydraulic systems that rely on engine power, while losing engine braking and vehicle control. Automatic transmissions rely on fluid circulation powered by the engine, and in neutral, that flow decreases. The smart move: always stay in drive or a lower gear on downhill roads. It keeps your transmission safe, your engine efficient, and your control intact. If you made it here, we'll appreciate a hit on the like button. We did a lot of research, and one like can very much help our channel. Anyways, number 4 is so common that millions of drivers have no idea they are doing it, costing them thousands at the mechanic. Habit 12. Shifting to neutral at red lights. You think you're giving your transmission a break by shifting to neutral at red lights. You're at a red light and decide to shift into neutral to give the transmission a break. You think you're being kind, but you're actually causing more wear than leaving it in drive. Every time you shift from drive to neutral and back, you're engaging and disengaging clutches unnecessarily, like a fidgety teenager clicking a pen. But here's the kicker. Modern transmissions are engineered to handle being in drive while stopped. This constant engagement creates wear on friction surfaces, and you're not saving anything except creating extra work for internal components. It's like doing jumping jacks to relax, completely counterproductive. Save neutral shifts for extended stops like waiting for a train. Otherwise, stay in drive and let your transmission do what it was designed to do. From a safety point of view, staying in gear gives you more control over your car's movement. The engine braking system helps slow you down naturally, so you don't wear out your brakes on long downhill stretches. When you shift to neutral, you lose that engine braking, which puts more strain on your brakes and increases the risk of brake failure when you really need them. Now let's talk about a habit that's making your car work way too hard. Habit 11. Sitting in drive too long. Here's a habit most drivers don't think twice about. Sitting in drive at long red lights, in drive-through lines, or during traffic jams with your foot on the brake. It seems harmless, but it's quietly putting serious stress on your automatic transmission. When your car is stopped in drive, the engine is still trying to send power to the wheels through the torque converter. But here's what's happening inside. Since brakes are holding the car in place, this creates internal friction in the torque converter, generating unnecessary heat. Heat is transmission enemy number 1. It breaks down fluid, reducing its ability to lubricate and cool. Over time, this leads to faster wear on parts like clutches and seals, and can even cause major transmission failure. The fix is simple. If you're stopped for more than 20 or 30 seconds, shift into neutral or park. This takes the strain off your transmission and stops the heat buildup. Your brake system suffers too. Keeping the car in drive means the brakes are constantly under pressure to prevent the car from moving. This increases brake pad wear and generates heat, which can reduce their efficiency over time. This can lead to more frequent brake repairs, especially in stop-and-go traffic or long waits at traffic lights. But here's where quick moves turn into expensive mistakes. Habit 10. Doing hard launches. Flooring the gas pedal from a complete stop might feel like you're channeling your inner race car driver, but you're actually committing transmission murder in broad daylight. It might feel exciting to floor the gas pedal and accelerate quickly from a complete stop, but hard launches are one of the quickest ways to damage your car. Hard launches put enormous strain on the torque converter, transmission gears, and drivetrain. And here's the kicker. When you try a hard launch in an automatic car, the torque converter has to handle a sudden surge of power from the engine. This sudden transfer of energy can cause overheating and wear out the converter much faster, creating enough heat to fry internal components. Your transmission fluid degrades faster under these conditions, leaving internal parts with less protection. The result? Slipping gears, transmission failure, and repair bills reaching thousands. Remember, automatic transmissions are built for reliability and longevity, but only if you treat them with care. Hard launches also harm your drivetrain. Parts like the drive shaft, axle, and differential aren't designed to cope with the jolt of energy from a quick launch. If you keep putting that stress on these components, you could end up with broken axles or even damage to the differential. These types of repairs can cost thousands of dollars. And don't forget about your tires. The increased wear from sudden acceleration means you'll need to replace them more often. Speaking of care, this next habit shows how small actions have big consequences. Habit 9. Shifting without stopping. Many drivers, especially when in a hurry, or doing quick maneuvers like three-point turns. Shift between drive and reverse without letting the car come to a full stop. It might save you a second, but it's putting serious strain on your transmission. When you shift gears while the car is still rolling, your transmission, not your brakes, has to stop the vehicle's momentum and reverse it. But here's what's really happening. This forces internal components like clutches and bands to absorb huge amounts of shock and friction. Your transmission is built to transfer power smoothly, not to act as a braking system. These sudden shifts create intense heat and cause rapid wear on critical parts, leading to delayed gear engagement, jerky shifts, or complete transmission failure. The fix is simple but important. Always come to a complete stop before switching between drive and reverse. That small pause gives your transmission time to disengage properly and prevents unnecessary damage. From a safety perspective, sudden mode changes can also compromise your vehicle control. For example, shifting into reverse while driving forward can cause the wheels to lock momentarily, resulting in skidding or loss of control. This doesn't only put you at risk, but also other drivers on the road. Always make sure the car is fully stopped before changing gears. Now here's a cold truth about warm-ups. Habit 8. Not warming up your transmission in cold weather. Modern engines don't need long warm-ups, but your transmission absolutely does. Most people start their car in winter, wait 30 seconds, and drive off like they're late for their own funeral. One of the most overlooked transmission mistakes is driving aggressively right after starting your car, especially on a cold morning. But here's the truth. When your vehicle sits overnight, especially in cold weather, the transmission fluid thickens. Just like engine oil, it needs time to warm up and circulate properly. In cold weather, transmission fluid becomes thick and sluggish, unable to flow properly through internal passages. This causes poor lubrication and delayed shifts. You're basically asking your transmission to run a marathon while wearing concrete boots. The solution is simple. After starting your car, drive gently for the first few minutes. Keep your RPMs low, avoid sudden acceleration, and let the transmission warm up gradually. Cold starts also affect fuel efficiency and emissions. Modern engines use a richer air-fuel mixture when they're cold to make up for lower combustion efficiency. If you drive off immediately, your engine works harder while still in this inefficient state, wasting fuel and increasing wear on parts. Pushing the engine hard while it's cold can even cause overheating and damage, especially to delicate parts like the head gasket. Here's where a $10 part can cost you thousands. Habit 7. Not using your parking brake. Most people shift into park and walk away, trusting that parking pal to hold their entire vehicle's weight. It might seem like a minor thing to skip using the emergency brake, especially if your car is parked on a flat surface, but ignoring it can lead to long-term damage. This works on flat ground, but on any incline, you're putting unnecessary stress on internal transmission components that weren't designed to be parking heroes. But here's what most drivers miss. When you put your car in park, a small metal component called the parking pal engages to lock the transmission and stop the wheels from moving. But if you don't use the emergency brake, all the weight of the car is resting entirely on this little piece of metal. Over time, this constant pressure can weaken or break the parking pal, particularly if your car is parked on an incline. From a safety perspective, the emergency brake is an extra layer of protection. If the parking pal fails, or if the car is jostled while parked, the emergency brake helps ensure the vehicle stays securely in place. Habit 6. Shifting into park before stopping. You're in a hurry and slam the car into park before coming to a complete stop. That grinding noise is the sound of money leaving your wallet. The park position uses a small metal pole that locks into a gear to prevent rolling. But this pole isn't designed to stop a moving vehicle. It's meant to hold a stationary one. But here's the catch. When you shift into park while moving, you're asking this tiny component to stop thousands of pounds of moving metal. The result is a chipped or broken parking pole requiring transmission teardown to access a $10 part that takes hours of labor to replace. Always come to a complete stop before selecting park. That moment of patience can save you thousands in unnecessary repairs. When you try to shift into park while the car is still moving, the parking pal is forced to engage against the rotating components of the transmission, putting severe stress on it. This can cause the pal to break or become damaged, and if it breaks, it can no longer lock the transmission properly, which means your car could roll unexpectedly even when parked. From a safety perspective, trying to switch to park while moving can cause your wheels to lock suddenly, leading to skidding or loss of control. This dramatically increases the risk of an accident, particularly in areas with heavy traffic or on slippery roads. Now let's talk about a habit that literally destroys your transmission. Habit 5. Spinning your wheels when stuck. You're stuck in snow, your wheels are spinning, and your natural instinct is to floor the gas pedal, hoping to power through. This is transmission suicide. When you keep spinning wheels, you create incredible heat inside your transmission. Friction generates temperatures that can literally melt internal components. And it gets worse. When you keep spinning wheels, you create incredible heat inside your transmission. The friction generates temperatures that can literally melt internal components. I've seen transmissions blow apart with metal shards scattered everywhere because someone decided to play snow rally driver. Your transmission fluid overheats and breaks down. Clutch packs begin to slip and burn, and before you know it, you've got a transmission that's slipping between gears. Instead, take a deep breath when stuck. Try gentle rocking motions between reverse and drive. Get traction aids under your tires. Patience saves transmissions. Aggression destroys them. What starts as a stuck car can quickly turn into a transmission repair worth thousands. The smart approach: clear the area around the tires, use mats or sand to gain traction, and if needed, ask for a push or call for help. Here's where multitasking becomes transmission wrecking. Habit 4. Using both feet on pedals. Using your right foot for gas and left foot for brake might seem like it gives faster reactions, but it's actually dangerous and damaging. Some drivers use their right foot for the accelerator and their left foot for the brake in automatic cars, thinking it gives faster reactions. The main issue is accidentally pressing both pedals simultaneously, and trust me, it happens more than you think. But here's what's really happening. When you're giving gas while pressing the brake, the engine tries to move forward while brakes hold it back. This sends mixed signals to your car and puts unnecessary stress on your transmission. This conflict creates excessive heat in the torque converter, damaging transmission fluid and wearing internal parts faster than a tire in a burnout contest. The solution is simple. Always use your right foot for both accelerator and brake, keeping your left foot resting. This eliminates accidental pedal overlap and protects your transmission from unnecessary wear. Plus, using both feet wears your brakes prematurely, since they're constantly fighting the engine's power. Modern cars also have computer systems that can get confused by simultaneous pedal inputs, causing erratic shifting or extra strain as the system tries to compensate. Now here's where a tiny leak becomes a massive problem. Habit 3. Ignoring transmission fluid leaks. At first, a small reddish puddle under your car might seem harmless or go unnoticed, but even a minor leak can signal the start of serious transmission trouble. It's like ignoring a small crack in a dam. Transmission fluid does more than lubricate. It cools the system and ensures smooth gear shifts. When fluid levels drop, friction increases between parts, causing faster wear. But here's the devastating truth. Without enough fluid to carry away heat, the transmission can overheat, which is the leading cause of failure, burning clutches, warping parts, and breaking down the fluid itself. Low fluid also affects shifting, because transmission fluid helps maintain hydraulic pressure. When it's low, you get delayed shifts, hard shifts, or slipping gears. So if you spot a reddish or brownish fluid leak under your car, don't ignore it. Most leaks come from worn seals or gaskets and are easy to fix early on, but letting it go can lead to costly transmission damage down the road. The transmission fluid also helps maintain hydraulic pressure throughout the system. Without proper pressure, you'll experience delayed or hard shifts, or even slipping gears. Most leaks start from worn seals or gaskets, problems that are relatively inexpensive to fix when caught early. Here's where stuck situations turn into financial disasters. Habit 2. Improperly rocking when stuck. When drivers get stuck in snow, mud, or sand, many instinctively shift rapidly between drive and reverse, trying to rock the vehicle free. Improperly rocking an automatic car when it's stuck in snow, mud, or sand can put serious stress on your transmission. Each rapid shift causes transmission clutches to engage under heavy load, generating huge amounts of heat. And when that happens, the heat breaks down transmission fluid fast, reducing its ability to cool and lubricate. You may even smell a burnt odor. That's your clutches overheating and your money burning. This kind of stress also wears down the clutch material and shocks the drivetrain, putting components like axles and CV joints at risk. Instead, try clearing the area around the tires. Use mats or sand to gain traction, and if needed, Ask for a push or call for help. A calm, careful approach is far better than aggressive rocking that could destroy your transmission. And finally, the ultimate transmission destroyer. Habit 1. Ignoring minor warning signs. Many drivers overlook small symptoms like faint burning smells, slight delays in shifting, or strange noises, thinking they're no big deal. But here's what they don't tell you. These subtle signs often mean trouble is building inside your transmission, like a ticking time bomb. Automatic transmissions are complex systems that rarely fail suddenly. Instead, they send warning signals like delayed or harsh shifts. But here's the brutal reality. Delayed or harsh shifts could indicate low fluid or pressure problems. If your car slips out of gear or revs without accelerating, it might mean worn clutch packs. A burnt smell after driving usually points to overheated transmission fluid, which can no longer protect your system. By the time you notice obvious symptoms, significant internal damage has already occurred. The best approach is to address these early signs quickly. Fixing minor problems like a faulty sensor, solenoid, or gasket now can save you from costly repairs later. Pay attention to your car's subtle cues before they turn into serious problems. Now, did you know your local mechanic might be scamming you hundreds of dollars every time you visit? Click this video to see how they scam innocent people to get profit. Anyways, like and subscribe. Thank you.